Welcome to another episode of Den Excelsior. This is the live weekly podcast that's just an excuse for me to put together a panel of nerds to discuss the latest happenings in Marvel across all media. It's also a chance for you to pick our brains on all things superhero. And don't worry, when the opportunity arises, we'll be talking about the distinguished competition too. So it's not just always Marvel. This episode is being recorded on the evening of Friday, February 12th, 2021. My name is Dennis, and with me, as usual, are my off-season trick-or-treaters, Ricky and Frank.
Happy Halloween!
Heyo!
Welcome, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Feeling good? Got lots to discuss.
So
gonna be a good time.
I know last week we said we weren't going to have Frank on for the whole thing, but I'm glad plans changed and you're able to make it.
That's right. As always, it's
your
priority.
Right.
I knew that I needed to be here.
Yes. And obviously, the thing we want to talk the most about is episode 6 of WandaVision. And we promised to get there. But, we have some other things that we're going to do before that. We're also going to talk about anything going on in the news and comic book stuff and superhero stuff in general, and any rumors going on. And
2 days to Snyder Cut trailer.
2 days, yeah.
Well, speaking of trailer, we got a new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer over the weekend.
We did.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
you guys watch
sweet.
it?
But it was great. It was really cool. I read somewhere that that's going to be the most extreme rated thing Disney's ever put out, because I think like Germany.
Oh, it's like TV-14.
TV-16, which is the equivalent of MA in America.
That's like half a butt crack you can show.
Oh my!
I think it was for violence and coarse language was what it was for. Yes,
Falcon language.
But
I mean,
Ricky,
if it's more,
I was just gonna finish my spiel before we just started.
Finish your spiel.
And then, Ricky was so excited to just immediately get into news and rumors. But after that's over, stick around for the WandaVision talk, and then we'll be doing Multiverse Bingo. And as always, there's a comments section for you guys to put questions in there, and we'll try to answer as many of them along the way. And if we still have some at the end, we'll keep them going there too. So now that that's out of the way, we can chat. Before we move on to the news and stuff, if you guys got anything else going on, anything to say about your weeks, anything, we could talk about that trailer. I thought it was pretty cool. I like seeing Madripoor.
I'm interested to see if any changes have been made to that show, given the COVID stuff and how they had to structure the filming for it to come out after WandaVision.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they were like only they were like 9 or 19 days away from finishing production when the pandemic hit. So I think they just had to let safety protocols, get set up, and they had to do the proper quarantining and stuff. And then eventually they got in there and did their I'm guessing
I think they're keeping it all pretty tight.
Yeah, I think they did the same shoots they were planning to do. It's just they had to wait a long time to do them.
If it's basically Winter Soldier, the show, I think we will all be pretty satisfied with that.
It's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon show.
Well, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the show.
But see, they have just so kept U.S. Agent in the quiet. Or there's so much more that's going to be in this show that we don't know about.
I wonder if Overzealous Patriot, they probably kept that on the hush hush over the past couple months for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I did like seeing Echo in that trailer, by the way. I am a huge fan of what is it, Maya Lopez?
Maya Lopez.
Yeah, and so I like the reinterpretation of her for the MCU, and of course I like seeing Zemo with the sweet hat or
they pulled it off again. Marvel's costumers, designers, they're so
with
good.
The matching purple gloves.
Yeah,
thank you. That reminds me, I had a retraction to make from last week. I got really ahead of myself, and we were talking about costume design, and I mistakenly attributed WandaVision's costume design to Shauna Tripchick. total accident. I've had that name stuck in my head for most of the winter because we also do a We Have Spoken Mandalorian podcast, and I kept wanting to squeeze that bit of information into that show, and we never got around to it. But Shauna Tripchick is the costume designer for The Mandalorian, not WandaVision. Maez Rubio, I believe, is the costume designer for WandaVision. Sorry about that for all the people I upset, all the hate mail I got. It was out of control. Yeah.
I was surprised by the amount.
Yes, it was a lot.
I mean, I thought I was going to get more of it, but you know.
Yeah, well, you got anthrax in your mailbox. It was pretty crazy.
Don't remind me. That's why I never check it. Yeah. I only check that thing just 2 times a week.
And then apologies also to one of our fans last week, Selena, if I made fun of her trying to correct me. It was just a little jest. We were talking about the prop designer, and we referred to him as a male, and she corrected me and saying it could be a she. And then we were referring to sailboats, and then I jokingly said, "Oh, our audience is reminding us that the sailboat could be a she." It was funny at the time. It was less funny later.
You're gonna get us
ended the recap.
Yes, yeah.
We're just diminishing returns here. So
apologies. We'll try to be more inclusive in general.
I had like a weird phenomenon. So I go to sleep with listening to podcasts. It's like a thing I've been doing since high school. It's just a soothing thing for me. And obviously I subscribe to this show like you all should. But
wait,
I woke up.
To this?
Yeah,
cool.
Multiple places too.
Nice.
But I woke up in the middle of the night and I forgot to set the podcast on sleep, so it would turn off automatically, basically to yours and my voice talking. And that's like the most surreal thing and probably most narcissistic thing that happened to me in a long time.
That's pretty gross. I would never include your voice when I listen to myself go to sleep. It's just me.
Yep.
Yeah, I have filters for that.
Sleep, Ricky. We'll get this for tomorrow night.
Yeah. Maybe somebody has to go to sleep right now.
Sleep well.
So, what do you say, guys? Do you want to get into the news so that we can make it to?
Let's go. The
WandaVision.
Alrighty. Right off the bat, Zoe Ashton.
Man, he didn't
tapped
even
to play.
He didn't even do the thing. He didn't even care anymore. Man, our producer Ricky. I know we're in week 5 here, guys. I promise by week 20, producer Ricky's gonna understand.
I'll get this down. It's still
he's gonna get this down. You got this.
We'll rewind it like Wanda did.
Now I feel properly prepared.
Daniel was there.
All right.
For that as well. Zoe Ashton tapped to play villain in Captain Marvel 2.
That's the news.
Yes.
She is from
do we know which villain?
From Velvet Buzzsaw.
We don't know which villain. They haven't announced, and they just said major villain for now, but who knows? There could be more villains too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who do you want in a Captain Marvel 2 villain?
Well, I think a lot of people are hoping that she's Lilandra. They want to see more X-Men stuff because they want to see what's happening right now in WandaVision just continue to usher in the wave of X-Men storylines. And I know personally from a lot of people that when they hear the possibility of X-Men and Captain Marvel, they want to see Rogue fight Captain Marvel.
Because the last time I heard is that Rogue was going to be the villain.
Yeah, I've heard that one floating around too.
But if there's an X-Men story that happens to involve space, then that would be a bridge that would make more sense to bring Captain Marvel into it, and so Lilandra would be the logical, choice for that. If that's what I hear the buzz. Yeah.
What is Lilandra's powers?
Lilandra's not necessarily a villain. It's that she's the leader of the Shi'ar Empire. So the other possibility is instead of Lalandra, it could be Deathbird, right? She could be Deathbird, which is Deathbird is Lalandra's evil sister.
Evil twin.
Evil
I don't
twin.
I don't think
No, I
she's
don't think
a
they're
twin.
twins.
Yeah, but it's just it's an alien race that is kind of like they're kind of like bird people, and like the X-Men befriend them, and
Yeah, Professor X is really big friends with them.
yeah, and he falls in love with Lalandra, and it's a whole thing. But they were supposed to be honestly the alien race that was in the last X-Men movie.
Okay, that's where that name rings a bell.
It was supposed to be them, and then they decided to just do a totally like barely known race from one comic, like from a million years
the
ago.
check stopped cashing in, so they had to wrap that shit up.
Yes. The Dark Phoenix story is what I was trying to say. The Shi'ar are a big part of the Dark Phoenix story, and I would hope that we don't do another Dark Phoenix story in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, yes. Sea Cow Soda, they're asking do they look like Bird Person from Rick and Morty? I would say no, they don't look like, but they do have wings, kind of. Is it wings or capes? It's like a cape that looks like wings.
Don't they kind of look like the sorceress from He-Man?
Yes, they look like the sorcerers from He-Man. That's pretty good. Let's move along because we talked about these for way too long.
There's a
yes, we do.
Moon Girl show coming to Disney Channel next year, 2022.
Girl and Devil
Disney,
Dinosaur.
Is Disney Channel still a thing? I thought everything just goes to Disney
guess.
Plus. Okay.
I'm sure there's a middle America market for Disney Channel.
I'm going to assume that our audience's boo was in reference to it being on a channel that they don't have access to and not anything to do with the show itself.
I don't know much about Moon Girl either. Is she relatively new?
Moon Girl is relatively new, but there was a comic called Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. And Moon Girl was like them kind of updating that story like about, I don't know, 6 years ago. I thought you watched all the 616s, Ricky. You didn't finish them all?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. There's a whole episode that's about
on Moon Girl.
The artist.
She's supposed to be another one of the geniuses of the Marvel universe.
She's actually when they did the 616, they said she is the smartest person in the Marvel universe. Yeah, she is the smartest person.
I didn't even mention Diamond White is going to be voicing Moon Girl, and there's a whole bevy of other cast members, but probably the most prominent is Lawrence Fishburne, who's going to be voicing the Beyonder.
So,
oh, that's cool. He's
a producer on the show too.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm cool with that. I'll watch anything Marvel. I'll try it.
I wonder. I mean, will it come day and date on D+? That's like the question, right?
I don't know, because D+ gets a lot of cartoons that are from Disney Channel, so who knows? Maybe it's available on Disney Channel and Disney+. You know what I mean?
And then it's a pretty light news week, so we're actually going to be pulling something from our distinguished competition.
Excellent.
But as Frank alluded to earlier, the Snyder Cut is coming. Awkward. The trailer is actually coming on Valentine's Day, and then the new cut comes out.
Did you say Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day with the N?
Just making sure.
Let me pull up the.
Yeah, where's this photo?
Where's the photos?
So yeah, they've been doing a little 2 to 3 second snippet yesterday, today. They'll do it tomorrow, and in this build up to the trailer for Sunday. And there it is, not so damaged, and yet looking more damaged.
I mean, is this before he got the tattoos or what? Like,
I don't know.
The timeline of Justice League is technically after Suicide Squad, but
so for those listening, it's basically Heath Ledger's Joker mixed with the Crow. Is that a good? Yeah. Is that a good assessment?
There's some Crow influence.
That is an excellent description of what is on the screen right now. I applaud you for that, Ricky. That is,
I wish they would have stick to the plan and ride out the tattooed Joker.
Do you know
I
the irony of you saying that and the irony of you saying that and us getting a redone version of Justice League is not lost on me.
But he wasn't part on that. He wasn't part of, he's
But
like,
you're saying you wish they would have stuck to the original thing, and yet here we are getting take 2 of Justice League.
that's 2 dimensions too far. Like, you're gonna redo the movie, that's fine, but you can't redo a character.
You can't? Why?
I don't know.
I've even heard Patty Jenkins say she didn't even try to have her Wonder Woman 2 be consistent with the other movies because she doesn't care. Like, they just don't care. They don't care anymore. It's fine.
You know what? The Snyder Cut is what it is. And
I'll accept this
going to appreciate it for what it is. Yeah.
The past 10 years of DC movies. You keep Shazam. I guess Flash is being worked back into it as a major player, and you let Pattinson do his own Batman thing. But it's like it's gonna go out. It's it's like your dog. You're taking it. You're gonna go put it down soon. You're just having a final lap.
It's such a mess, man. What was that?
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was David Ayers coming at us for making fun of his Joker.
Yes.
That was awkward. Anyways, did you have any more news?
No, it's a pretty light week. Some other toy news. Did your X-Men Legends come in? I saw those were shipping out already.
No, mine come later. But I did get my Spider-Man ones, and they're amazing because I got. Hold on a second. I have him here. He's so good.
Spectacular.
He's the best Build-A-Figure ever.
How many Spider-Men is this?
In the history.
Stilt Man. Oh, that's dope. That is so dope. We're like just 6 of the figures, just leg.
No, it's look at this. He just keeps going.
So for those listening, the Stiltman figure, if you buy extra figures as part of the pack, you get additional legs to make them longer.
The legs were built in such a way that you can keep adding on to them. So yes,
that's like the Nerd Collector flex.
So there's no
properly be tall.
There's no end to the size that
until Stiltman versus Godzilla.
My Stiltman's already taller than most scale Godzillas, so he's just amazing. But yeah. Anyways, I get mine later because I'm not in a rush. So
hey, I just had to go get my Godzilla toy to fight Stiltman.
Whoa, you look different, Frank.
Who, me? Yeah, I've been working out. I've been lifting some weights.
You like shaved in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Did you have like way more hair a second ago?
No. I think that was just an optical illusion. I turned on some lights, and I think everything should be good now, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you were looking pretty sickly before.
What were we talking about? We were talking about Stiltman.
Yes, we were talking about Stiltman.
How many hand ninjas? That looked pretty dope, by the way.
Yeah, mine more than one hand ninja.
Mine is 3. Mine is 3 deep.
3 deep.
I will get more. I had my neighbor actually suggest that when the quarantine is over, people should put together a whole a meetup, and just everybody come with all the legs they have and go to the moon with him. Just go to the freaking moon.
When we can return to convention safely,
when we can return to the moon without being quarantined.
Yes, that should be a
BYO Stiltman legs.
BYO legs.
Yes. Did we have anything else in the news?
No, like I said, it was a super short news week. Other than some other small toy releases, but not much else.
Gotcha. Should we get onto the? Should we move on, or is there anything else going on? Well, what is this?
Hey, it's Clarke.
Hey guys, thanks for inviting me.
We have a guest now.
Show, Clarke.
Glad that I can make it.
A little late, but better than never.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sorry. I got held up a little bit, just got in. And so thank you for letting me join your awesome podcast. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you.
For anybody that wasn't in on the joke, we were playing with the recasting. So we had 2 Franks on today. But we're glad to have our guest Clarke here to talk with us. So we got all 4. Frank, I'm actually really happy that you made it back from your prior engagement, so that we could have 4 of us to talk about WandaVision today.
I was watching
In the comments,
Hammy
tell
and the
us who
T-Rex.
is tell us who is Age of Ultron Frank and who is WandaVision Frank.
Yeah. That's not an answer I want to know.
By the way, yeah, there was one bit of news that
I'm
that
Foxy.
is general superhero news. WonderCon they announced this week that it will be online again this year, and so we can look forward.
But only
out-
2 days.
I think
That was the
comic-
first one on the chopping block last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
South by Southwest was last year.
Oh, you're right. you're
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
right. So
I know
forgot
because I had tickets to that one.
Did you get refunded or what'd you get? What happened?
I got tickets for this year,
And I owe you.
which then got pushed to next year, and I get to go attend it for online for free this year. Yeah,
That's what happened to my Green Day concert. Basically, I got tickets for this year, and
yeah,
we'll see.
That's funny. I get to attend it online for free as well.
yes. But anyways, let us move on to WonderCon. Sorry if it was confusing anybody out there who saw a Frank that didn't look like Frank, or a Clarke that didn't look like Frank. It's all in good fun, and it's all in the spirit of WandaVision. So, Ricky, let's go. And yeah, let's talk about this show, because this episode was quite fun. We got to play more with the recasting. I think the name of the episode was, like, as you saw, or as you may have seen, the all new Halloween Spooktacular.
Spooktacular.
And I thought that was adorable because in the grand tradition of sitcoms, usually sitcoms just do something special or different for their Halloween episodes. A lot of sitcoms do that, and that's I mean
that's like a staple of Modern Family. Their Halloween episodes,
right? Yeah, I mean it's a lot of shows. Like Roseanne used to do it. Like The Simpsons is probably the most famous for it. So I really appreciated that. They're trying to embrace all the tropes that we would see if they're gonna stick to the sitcom thing. Just embrace all the things that are sitcom-y, and having a Halloween special is pretty sitcom-y. Did they do anything specific that was like, oh, that could only have happened in a Halloween episode? Nah, other than wearing Halloween costumes, that's about it.
Well, having kids around, that's one thing that only they could have done.
Yes, that is true. That was an adorable little call out in that episode. But yeah, they the key plot points of that one were basically that Vision is off doing his own thing because he's suspicious, and so he lies to Wanda and says he's on neighborhood watch, but really he goes out to explore the limits of Westview, and cool Uncle Pietro goes along for the trick or treating, and they have some cool moments together. The new Evan Peters, recast as Pietro, gets to hang out with his sister, and they get to kind of have a back and forth that's pretty fun. And then meanwhile, in outside world, you got Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy, who are also figuring out that the people on the outer perimeter don't seem to be they seem to be exceeding the processing power of Wanda or whoever is controlling this whole thing, right? So they kind of it's really awkward and creepy, and they just kind of stand out there in the middle of nowhere, just kind of waiting for the next day to reset them and become new TV tropes and stuff.
I appreciate you for wording it like that. That's
like the Dark Truman Show.
Well, it did. I mean, I think if this show speaks in 2 languages, right, that are very familiar to people, and at the same time, right, it speaks in sitcom language but then it really speaks in Matrix language too, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
most of the stuff it's doing all the time, like you've been calling him the my man guy for
My
weeks
man.
now. But
My
Herb,
man.
you know, we call him that because he does that glitch in the Matrix the way they make fun of in Rick and Morty or Inception, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
But you know, that's a language that's very familiar to viewers now, right? Like that's almost its own genre, is those, you know, world within a world kind of stories. So
You didn't mention that it's like a Malcolm in the Middle.
and yeah,
love
no,
letter.
I was gonna get to that, yeah, but I was just summing up the you know, the last thing that we saw at the end of the episode is Billy suddenly you know, because the boys, both the twins ended up getting powers this episode, and the boy, you know, Billy ends up sensing Vision trying to leave the barrier, and Wanda ends up using her powers to extend the perimeter of the hex and reshapes pretty much everybody in Sword that was stationed right there. I always said that was just a dumb thing to have. You don't set up your perimeter right
Yeah.
next to the mysterious gate that you don't understand how it works. You know what I mean? Like even
Sure.
the movie Annihilation, right? They were like what, at
Miles
least a
away.
couple,
Yeah, they were
miles
a couple
away from
miles,
that
yeah.
thing. You know, so
They should
But
have
yes.
like a couple of the mooks next door to the perimeter. Like those are the a-holes that get caught up, you know, when it
I
goes
did
off.
also enjoy how like 3 of them are in hazmat suits, and then other ones are just standing there, and then others are in masks. It's like everybody was at different layers of protection.
Yeah,
but it didn't really matter.
But if we are talking about the things we like, yes, thank you, Ricky, for bringing it up. I was actually really thrown for a loop when I got the Malcolm in the Middle vibe, because one, I've been kind of keeping score on the decades, right? Like, and that's my bad for assuming, okay, this decade has to be 90s because it was 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s before that. But they went a little weird, and I mean, you could argue they went late 90s, early 2000s, but Malcolm in the Middle actually did start in 2000. But like all week long, I was like, dude, they got to do Full House, right? I don't love Full House, but it feels like you got an Olsen twins sister on the show. Make
hot button.
Make fun of, yeah, and I guess, you know, in retrospect, in hindsight, it is probably a hot button issue. You know, so you know, but I was insistent that it had to be either Full House or Simpsons or Married with Children. I was like, those are the 3 best, you know, ones.
I mean, WandaVision is basically saying there's no good TV shows in the 90s.
That's basically what they told us.
They kind of did, right? They kind of did.
Even Saved by the Bell. Oh, it was Saved by the Bell-ish, because Malcolm in the Middle is Saved by the Bell-ish.
Well, but they're definitely going for family sitcoms, right?
The filming style was definitely, I mean, spot on Malcolm in the Middle.
It was spot on Malcolm in the Middle.
With the angles they were using.
Like, there was almost nothing that wasn't Malcolm in the Middle. Those breaking the
I'm at
fourth
a
wall.
because
the double focus.
I never watched Malcolm in the Middle.
Really? It's a great show.
You are missing out.
Sure. I don't know if I'll ever go back and watch it, but if you recommend it,
Brian Cranston.
It is available for free on Internet Movie Database TV, streaming now.
It is
great.
You get
Brian
a nickel every
Cranston
time you say that, Clarke?
Yes, he does.
Okay, perfect.
Now, I think, though, we're skipping over probably why they went all the way to that is because in the 90s, Sokovia had such a limited amount of TV shows coming in due to the embargo. That Wanda just didn't have that much source material to work with.
Ooh, that guy's sexy for saying that. Clarke, that was awesome.
By the way,
didn't have cable.
By the way, we see you, Leo. Thanks for joining us tonight. And feel free to ask questions along the way. I will say, I noticed again that what was it, if you want to call it 90s or early 2000s, they still were showing it in 16:9, and that weirds me out. Because that's not the aspect ratio that I watched Malcolm in the Middle in back.
That's right. It wasn't until 2006
or something like that, a little later than that, right?
It was at least 2 or 3, because I remember West Wing went to the.
It was several seasons into West Wing, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't the aspect ratio that I didn't watch Malcolm in the Middle in.
Yes.
Yes.
But I had a flat screen, so I watched it in that aspect ratio.
Yeah, I had an old TV that didn't work, and we had another TV on top of the old TV that also didn't work, and then we had another TV. So
You might be a redneck.
yeah, oh yeah, Mexa redneck, I think is what they call it. But I
what
noticed
else?
on the marquee they had the movies. So 1998's Lindsay Lohan's Parrot Trap, and then 2004's
2004.
The
Yeah.
Incredible. So like those are two different. Those are like that's like a 4-year gap right there, or 5 year, 6-year gap.
It's
Oof.
6
Can't-
yeah,
Look at
6
those
years.
gym shorts. It's beautiful.
Those the Halloween costumes in this episode really did add a lot of fun because we got to see Marvel do that thing that they're so good at doing, which was find a way to just give a nod to how ridiculous these characters looked in the comic books, right? And so
Yeah.
these are
My
these
favorite's
are
the Luke
actually
Cage one.
these are really like pretty accurate costumes to what they are in the comics.
Mhm.
Except those gym shorts are a little too big, but that Vision's wearing in
And the
episode.
tennis shoes, but
Oh yeah, the
Sheila
tennis shoes.
con
But
carne.
the tennis shoes are just practical, and I
Right.
do like that Wanda found a way to like make it about like lucha libre kind of thing.
Mhm.
That was
and
pretty
she's
cool.
a Sokovian fortune teller.
Yes,
Covian fortune teller.
That-
I'll be doing
that was clever.
Peter B. Vision, I think, for Halloween this year. I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
And then, by the way, when they mention that Sokovian fortune teller thing, and then they do the jump cut to show when they were kids trick or treating,
Yes.
that was so Malcolm in the Middle.
Mhm.
That
Wait,
was
so-
just
And so when they were trick or treating, what costumes were they in? Was he Nick Fury?
They were-
He was
she
Nick
the
Fury.
Wasp, or- Yeah,
Was
yeah.
he?
I thought so.
I don't
It seemed
think
like
he
I got-
was.
I got the
Oh, he
Nick
was
Fury
totally
vibe.
Nick Fury.
I got that he had an eye patch, but I wasn't sure that he was supposed to be Nick Fury.
Well, I mean, what else can you have as an eye patch? You could be a pirate or Nick Fury, right? Or maybe
Well,
a Sokovian wizard or something.
I
don't know.
just want to remind you that Nick Fury didn't have an eye patch until after Captain Marvel.
Sure,
and
sure.
Nick Fury wasn't even like.
Look, she's the Wasp. Is she the Wasp?
He would be
I
appropriating.
don't think so. I think they were just complaining about how bad their mom's costumes were, and like, look, he's got like fake stubble. That he could be a pirate. That's a pirate costume.
He could also be dirty. Like he's
Yeah,
in
well-
look at the background.
Now we're making judgments about Sokovian quality of
They're
life.
trick or treating with a Pinto in the background.
What other stuff
And
did
they,
you guys
and they
like?
get pickled fish.
What else did you guys like in the episode? What else?
I
really
actually
liked
liked a really quick at the when they showed previously on WandaVision something that I noticed that they showed Aaron Taylor Johnson since
Yeah.
Quicksilver. We skipped that, but I
Yeah.
thought that was really interesting that they showed it in the previously.
Yeah,
I guess for the people that somehow didn't get the gag and such, but I thought
I'm
that
sure there was a
interesting.
bunch, like a lot of the filthy casuals, as we've come to call them. They probably didn't get it, and I think Disney is always like trying to kind of improve their storytelling, so they probably just put them in there just to be like, hey,
and
filthy
they
casuals,
own that.
check it out.
They own that
Yeah.
movie. They can show Aaron Taylor Johnson whenever they want to. They just chose not to last
Mhm.
week because they thought it was fun, because they wanted to keep you on the hook.
Yes.
But yeah, they can show that whenever they want, and I thought that was really clever too to do that too.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is yelling at his agent right now.
Nah, he's fine.
He's chill.
He's fine.
He's filming Kick-Ass 3.
Well, speaking of him, since we're talking about him, and one of my favorite parts was the allusion to him, and then her saying the line "kick-ass," which so that it wasn't just to Quicksilver, but to the actor. The fact that they went to a scene alluding to the actor who played Quicksilver to
Mhm.
something else that he did, and also
Yeah.
something that Evan Peters was in, it just made it even more meta, because like when they did it in Avengers Infinity War, and they start mentioning Back to the Future or Endgame, and they start mentioning Back to the Future and Hot Tub Time Machine and like all these movies, that was a little jarring because that
Mhm.
didn't really fit. But here, it felt like it was more meta and part of the whole multiverse aspect.
Yeah, I honestly felt like the reason she was saying it was because she was shocked to hear her young
Yeah, I
children
was gonna say
swearing. You know what I mean?
he was the one. He said it first. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Yeah.
Evan Peters said it first.
No. It
Or
was
no, her
Yeah.
kids. Yeah,
Mhm.
Tommy said it first, and you get the impression that he learned that from Cool Uncle Pietro or Pete, right?
But I
and
mean, Evan
then,
Peters
yeah.
was in Kick-Ass also.
Yes, no, I
Yeah.
know. That's what Clarke.
Yeah.
That's what Clarke was saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it could be a meta reference to that, but like, you know, it was also a very mom moment that my kids are growing up. You know what I mean? So like, it could be all those things all at once. You know, because that's the genius of Marvel.
That's the show. Yeah,
And yeah,
That's what happens when you have a 22-minute episode wrapped in 37 minutes of credits.
I'm
really
done
tight.
complaining about the lengths of the episodes because
Not me.
we all knew. I called that a long time ago. This is one big movie that, you know, hopefully they cut it together at some point.
I know.
Where you can just watch it as a movie. And
that they
Well,
do
someone-
release
someone do
a
the
movie
math.
version. Yeah.
It's supposedly 6 hours in total. The whole
No,
thing.
you are bad at math, son.
No,
You
no,
are
no.
so bad at math.
The entire season's gonna be.
No,
Sorry,
No.
that is impossible. It's impossible to be 6 hours.
I could have swore there's the Feige quote out there saying
You
the whole
can
thing's
swear
6
that
hours.
all you want, but like
Swear to me.
three of those hours are credits. 3 of those hours are credits.
Well, even on face value though, that would mean the last 3 episodes are gonna be some beefier ones. You know,
They
40
might
minute
be
plus
That's what they
beefy,
do. That's what they do.
but yeah, because like we're 6 episodes deep. We're 6
Yeah.
episodes deep, and
We
it's
got 3 more.
barely it's barely been 2
Yeah.
hours total.
Yeah.
It's barely been 2 hours total of screen time that we've seen.
Okay, so we're talking about likes. Evan Peters' hair. So a
Yep.
bunch of people have been saying that that's not Quicksilver's hair, but it looks like devil horns, Mephisto. And I'm all like, oh my God, stop, everyone. I know I say that about every character in this show that they're Mephisto, but like, have you noticed how many Marvel people have hair like that? Like
Did you ever-
Wolverine,
Yeah.
Did
Beast,
you notice that
Quicksilver,
person walking?
Agatha Harkness, like they all have hair like that. So it could be anybody.
I don't know if
He could be the
Agatha.
Beast.
Oh, I guess yeah.
Did you see that red person walking behind Wanda and Quicksilver in front of the movie theater?
Mephisto.
That's the hood.
That's Mephisto.
That's the hood.
That's clearly Mephisto.
And then the car over there is Mephisto.
I mean, I thought his hair was in very much in the spirit of everything in that episode, which was
Sure.
the silly, like
Yeah,
the silly,
Totally agree.
you know, like
overly done.
exaggerated version of their actual comic book costumes. So it's the hair. It's his hair. It's stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's his hair. And
But that's the comics.
yeah, you know, everybody looks like. I mean, I think Wanda looks fantastic just because that's 100% accurate to her costume in the comics.
So one little thing that I do like is that a lot of episodes, Vision and Wanda dance around with each other, and like that's something me and my wife do. Like we put on music and we just like see each other and we just start like dancing around and like that's totally what.
But in this episode, when they were sharing those little moments, you know, like those little lovey moments,
Chili
like
con carne.
when you know, Vision was talking about how like she made it so like the only thing in his closet was the
Yeah.
costume, and then it looks at first like he's gonna be mad, and then he's like, ooh, like, you know, and he starts dancing a little bit with her. Like that is straight out of Malcolm in the Middle. Like that's like so much of this
hear
episode.
Bryan Cranston saying chili con carne.
Yes, I could hear it too. Like it
All right.
was
Son
it
of
was-
a bee, I don't have this reference.
The cadence was just on. It's spot on.
Yeah, it was everything. And like the amount, like how basically Pietro was playing the older brother that's come home from military school, basically, you know, like to fill that role and be the horrible, like guiding,
Influence.
the horrible influence on the kids and stuff.
Where does it take
So
place? Malcolm in the Middle.
On
Suburbia,
TV,
right?
it's on TV.
No. What
Suburbia
what's-
somewhere.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's not. It's a nondescript place. So does Bryan Cranston?
It has a place, but it's real. It's suburbia.
I highly recommend it. It's where Bryan Cranston started, and we all recognized his genius then, because like he's just so
Does
good.
he often walk out of the suburbs and then break apart, and then the wife brings him back?
That's actually the
that
finale.
was on
Is
a
that
very
finale?
special episode, actually,
Oh.
of Malcolm in the Middle.
That's cool.
Yes,
But he
I gotta watch
he
that
does
show.
have super hairy powers.
apparently
So-
it was New Mexico that the show took place in.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think that was a joke. I think that was for
No, that makes me very happy. Anything
Yes.
with Breaking Bad makes me pretty happy.
I like the kids. I like the kids in the episode. I thought they were kind of spotty on the last one, but I thought their acting and delivery was awesome in this one. Like towards the end, when they started noticing that Vision was hurt, I like that whole sequence with them in particular.
Mhm.
I
But-
move you down because I don't like that opinion.
Is there further down that you can?
You can just take me
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I was watching those kids and I'm like, can't wait for them to age one more time, please.
I mean,
Thank
it's gonna happen. There's no way they're gonna keep them that
Yeah,
age. But
I hate them. I think they're just awful.
God.
But
Do I have to kill another dog for them to age up or what?
yes,
'Cause I'm Mephisto.
Next week they get a cat.
I'm gonna submit this review to their IMDb page.
Oh, no.
I think, for what they are, they're fine. I know that every actor in the Marvel universe is better than them, and every kid actor that's been in the Marvel universe has been better than them.
But for
Even
playing
Harley
the
Quinn,
Malcolm
and I
in the
hate that
Middle
kid.
characters, that I like their performance.
Sure, for playing for doing Malcolm in the Middle, those kids are pretty good. I won't hate on them for that. Yes. But this show is not just Malcolm in the Middle. It is WandaVision also,
Yes.
So yeah. Anything else? What else you guys love?
Ready to talk about the Yo Magic commercial?
Oh man.
I love that. That thing was
Did
the
you
most
love it?
creepiest. I loved it because it was so
this is-
weird and so just dark. It just went to a dark place with
It
claymation.
did.
It was like the first time I watched Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, this movie's hella dark. They're dead kids with eyes sewn up. And
By
then,
the way,
like,
New
yeah,
Mexico was a joke. I just saw.
gosh,
The audience is playing with our emotions. Never take anything the audience says at face value again.
the audience is Mephisto. Everyone's Mephisto.
There, Mephisto.
We
That's so
we
true.
figured it out.
Sorry, continue what you're saying, Frank. For me, I think you're gonna find among the four of us that commercial hit at a different way.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
I like to think that I probably liked it the most out of you guys because I don't see a world where you guys really enjoyed that commercial.
I thought it was super weird and it was just super unclear what it was referencing.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say it reminds me of the first two episodes of WandaVision. Like everybody was all like, I don't know what this is referencing. This is very unclear.
But
And
I
then,
did-
you know,
I did-
But you
but
can take a lot of things from it though.
But I
Sure,
think
yes, yeah.
no, but I think the difference is like in all the WandaVision episodes before this one, the commercial was the most clear thing of everything going on in the show, right?
and
Like,
had some
they-
sort of tie-in that was easier to tie
you
in.
could directly relate that to, oh, that's from this movie. That's
Although
from this
Lagos
movie.
was a little tricky, but
Not really. I mean, like,
that was great.
like if
Mhm.
you watch those, if you watched Civil
Sure.
War recently,
yeah.
One of the things about the commercials that I was going to say, it kind of reminds me of the flashbacks in Arrow when you get 5 years ago season 1, 4 years ago season 2,
Yeah.
and then when it
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
to season 5, where does it go? Like it goes to this
yeah,
weird.
that's fair. I like that. I like that
Mhm.
assessment, and so that now we're seeing the creepy like now, right? We're about to
Sure.
be in the now, and that's fair. Yeah,
I didn't mind, the creep fact because it was creepy and but I think it also played in well with the snippets we talked about, the Matrix moments with the townspeople that like, especially the woman who was hanging the laundry and was crying. That hit pretty
Yeah.
hard, and I felt
me-
that
yeah.
seeing the commercial after that scene actually made that commercial fit more because now we're really starting to see there's something deep
Mhm.
sadness
and
underneath stuff.
and sinister going
Yes,
on too, right?
sh-
Yeah,
she's not feeding her pets, and they can't open
Yeah.
the yogurt by themselves. That's
Yeah, well,
one way to take it. If you
the
want
only
Yeah.
solace I take is that knowing that, like, well, she resets the world every day, so at least that lady is not going to be wearing those clothes when she's hanging laundry tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it was a Halloween
Well,
decoration. Wasn't it?
Molecular speaking,
oh yeah, whatever she
they
was
are
hanging.
the same
Yeah.
clothes, but
Yes, molecularly, they're basically
People
the
use
same.
dryers these days. Oh well, but then again, that's the
yeah.
what was it,
I'm
the early
loving
2000s?
how they are painting Wanda. I don't say as the villain, but she's definitely part of the problem and the overall issue.
Or she's
I-
she's a tool that's in the greater scheme of things. But
I
like,
said
it does,
she's-
either way, the language, like I said earlier, is that they're using our shared understanding of Matrix rules or video game
Mhm.
rules to get that's
Mhm.
that's a little outside of her reach, you know. So
Yeah.
something's
But
weird.
she's the
going
engine.
on. Yeah,
Exactly, and
moving
and I,
these
and I
things.
like that she's a catalyst. You know,
Mhm.
she may be a hero, but there's still that gray area where she doesn't know what she's doing with her powers as of right now, and she's causing harm to people.
She seems to
obviously,
go back and forth. She seems to know what she's doing, and then sometimes she's kind of ignorant of it, like it's her subconscious or another power acting on her.
So
Yeah.
one of my favorite aspects was the conversation that Pietro has with her when he's saying, like, you're getting better at this. And
Yeah.
she's like, looks at him weird, but then she kind of accepts it because she realizes that she is. And that feeds right into the idea that now there were kids. And to me, that really showed the progression of the sitcom aspect that,
Mhm.
the earliest sitcoms were like the earliest stuff that she could remember, the simplest worlds. That's what she could create. Just the black and white, just the really simple characters. And then she got a little better. And I think that really helped explain the potential progression that we've been seeing in the show, because she has been getting better and more powerful at this, whether consciously or subconsciously, because she's been making these little directorial changes.
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
she sees something that's complete out of no, and she'll move stuff.
Yeah.
But I really like how that kind of set it up, and how more and more, I mean, we've talked about this, that there's likely some
Mhm.
bigger figure like Mephisto or Nightmare or some demon, some bigger thing that is manipulating the whole thing. Dormammu, but she is absolutely
Cobra
the
Kai.
engine that's moving
Yeah.
this, and you're seeing her powers grow to be so big and so large that it's really fitting then how powerful she is in the comics.
I like having this guy on the show. Let's I'm pointing
Yeah.
the wrong way. Let's bring this guy on the show more often. There,
It is
Absolutely.
true though. Like we are like, the argument that Oliver's made is that what is the point of the sitcom? But if they're framing things in the form of a sitcom to show you how far sitcoms have grown, well, in all honesty, like I remember being blown away by Malcolm in the Middle when it came out, because it was so much smarter than most sitcoms that had come before it. So much, like, there was a lot going on in that show.
Mhm.
And there's it's breaking the fourth wall. There's like all this,
But they got
structure,
into some pretty heavy family.
yeah, they got into
dynamics.
heavy family
Mhm.
stuff. And so and there's a lot of characters, right? A lot of characters on that show. So you're right, Clarke. Like, we are seeing through the sitcom lens, we're seeing a growth of her power because she's pulling off more every week, right?
Mhm.
Like, that's like, to go from, what the Dick Van Dyke one was just like two people visiting for dinner, and then Vision's little coworkers, and that's what she had to manage, and then
which is a Dick Van Dyke episode, like
and then this episode, she had to manage like this whole town and populate it with children, like you guys were saying, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, which had never been done on her show these past few weeks, and it been called out on it. So
Yeah.
she's stretching, she's flexing more and more.
that eats
or
up CPU.
Or the thing that's controlling her is pushing her to flex more and more.
Mhm.
It's exciting. I mean, it just makes me want to watch the next episode even more.
Yeah, see, Calsoda, Mojo is another possible one, but Mojo's
That would be
not
really cool.
Mojo's not so much of a controller as more of like a voyeur. He
Mhm.
likes to watch people in situations that
Arcade would be
world.
great. Yeah,
arcade.
Get this guy on the show more. How I'm pointing the wrong way. Get this guy on the show more. We said arcade at the same time. Fantastic.
Arcade's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. I think the less spectacular the person ends up being, the happier I'll be with this. Because because the thing is like, at this point you're 6 episodes deep, and if we're still considering doing the Mephisto thing, it better happen soon, because like,
I'm with you there.
It's gonna be weird if it's not, like if it is Mephisto and they do it on the last episode, or they wait till like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to reveal, oh, the villain in that show you watched last year was Mephisto, like that.
I agree. Yeah, waiting till Doctor Strange is too long.
Yeah,
they'll do it in the Marvel fashion, where they lead us through every single thing by the nose, very detailedly, and it'll be horrible.
before we go
Sometimes
to where
people like a straight river, Frank.
before we go to where Frank's going, which is just like this disc likes, I do need to point out because like Evan Peters just
he slays. He's
I
amazing.
was so happy when I saw him last week, but this week I think I was most excited, even if there were no plot twists at the end of the episode. I was so excited to see this guy act because, like,
Yes,
he's just in everything he's ever been in. He just elevates it. He makes it better because he's there, and just that accent of his, and then like the back and forth, like like he had so much chemistry with this person he's never been on screen with before.
Sure.
And I was like, they're brother and sister now.
he fits so well.
No, I
it
love their
works
whole
so well.
dialogue and how he would constantly rebuttal Wanda's like challenges to.
Oh, he just
His
had
all-
something
yeah.
for everything. Yeah, because Quicksilver's quick, right? Like that's the Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. Is he's quick, he's snappy, he's always got something to retort with,
So if we're talking about Quicksilver, I liked a couple of the lines they give him about squeezing his sister to death, but like unleash hell demon spawns.
Yeah.
A cute little wink, and then the XY gene.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny to me.
Yeah.
we almost got him to say mutant. I felt like he
Good
was
stuff.
so close.
That check hasn't cleared yet.
Yeah.
It's coming. I mean, it's coming, and I don't think we mentioned this last week, but technically, if he is, and we don't know for sure, but if he is the Pietro from the X-Men universe, then he's officially the first mutant in the Marvel universe now, or in the MCU. Like
Sure.
if he is, like, and we learned that that
By that
field,
logic, wouldn't that make Wanda a mutant?
well, that field is literally rewiring people's
Now we're gonna get to Monica
on the inside, So
See, that's some gray area though, because Wanda was demutantized in Marvel canon right now.
yes,
Same with her parentage for Magneto, but everyone's talking about, hey, Magneto, Ian McKellen, all that stuff, but that's not her dad anymore in the Marvel universe. So.
Well, but they did that for a business decision, right? Like they did that because they didn't want Fox to have any more toys to play with.
Yes, same with they canceled the Fantastic Four comic for a while.
Yeah, exactly, because they didn't want to give them new stories that they could bite off of, but they don't have to worry about that anymore. And like I think most people our age remember that Wanda and Pietro are Magneto's children, and so I wouldn't be opposed to that being the case again.
Most people my age don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, he literally said it in the X-Men movies. He's like, "Hey, that's my dad."
If we get Sir Ian McKellen on the show, then I will accept it. I will decanonize my brain if I have to.
Okay, gotcha. But let's move on and let's talk about the stuff that we didn't like, because I know Frank wants to do that, and I will concede something. I'll set this up for you, Frank, because for me, I had very few dislikes this episode, because I'm kind of just letting more and more happen every week, and I'm just kind of giving myself to the show more and more. I'm fighting back a lot less. So my big, I had two. My small one was I did love seeing them in their spandex. I thought all the other people had the safest, most generic Halloween costumes ever in the background. And it just bummed me out, because it just felt like if you're ever going to do Halloween in the Marvel universe, like it'd be so exciting. Yeah. And
in a Disney-owned Marvel universe.
Sure,
yeah, exactly. In a Disney Marvel universe.
Should have had Mickey.
And
even
so, like,
E.T. had Yoda, right?
I saw a guy back there with like a Freddy sweater and a Jason mask, and like it's such generic costumes, and I'm like,
Well,
way to drop the ball on that one, guys.
I look at it, they're NPCs, right? They're just background people, they're fodder. But also Wanda wants a generic suburbia life, and that's as generic as you could get, right?
Yeah, if she's the costume designer for all of them.
Fair. That's fair. Even though we know it's Maya's Rubio. Okay, but my other one, my only other thing, and this is to let you go ham with it, Frank, is
sure.
I said before, I need the outside story to be part of this whole gag that's going on, because it's too sloppy with its heavy-handed exposition, like way too sloppy. And so like I need to be right about this because it will kill me if Darcy suddenly becoming super hacker and like everybody just doing all these things that just move the plot forward a million miles. It's just too convenient, and it's not what I'm used to seeing from Marvel to that extent. You know what I mean? I've never seen it this bad. So I have to believe.
Wait, what? You've never seen it this bad?
No,
like
okay. In the last 5 or 6 years. Sorry.
Wait, what?
I mean, there was definitely like a wrap shit up aspect to this episode.
You don't think the rat was a little too convenient in Endgame? Like,
no, I think the rat is the 1 out of 14 million possibilities that Doctor Strange saw.
I'll believe that.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. It's definitely not convenient. You're right.
I think that's the one where that rat accidentally did that thing. And that's and Doctor Strange knew. So we just got to see that 1 out of 14 million.
Yeah,
anyway,
Tony Stark was just so full of himself to think that he was the linchpin. No, it was the rat.
It's the rat. But Clarke brought something up before we started recording that I wanted Frank to hear. So Clarke, tell us what you noticed when you were looking things up in the credits.
So I was looking at the end credits. And then I, right at the beginning where it talks about the director and then the writers, and I'm looking at the writers and see this. One of them is Hayward, I'm like, or Hayward. Yeah. And then I start looking at the other one, so I go to Internet Movie Database, and it's not even listed. So it's like they have people listed as writers that are not even in the Internet Movie Database as writers.
And so we started wondering if those credits are even real.
Yeah, I thought it was already established that the show credits weren't real, like those ones.
No. The credits once, like the
actual credit,
the white words on black, those are not real, or
the graphics,
the flowers with the gazebo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was established that those weren't real. I thought I read that. Or I don't think we talked about it.
I know the credits on the TV shows that they used to show in the first few episodes. I knew those weren't real, but now we're talking about 3 layers of credits. And I'm saying I'm beginning to wonder if layer number 2 of credits, which plays usually after we see the outside world, is also, that'd
be great, or it'll be Iron Man 3. It's one of the two.
Iron Man 3 is amazing.
Options. Oh, is it?
Amazing movie. Yeah, we've had this conversation before.
I'll have to watch it again for the 50. That's literally the movie I've watched the most.
As a reminder,
I'd like giving you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
As a reminder, we can recast you. We've done it before.
The plane scene.
Can you recast me as good? Can you recast me as Evan Peters? Because that would be fantastic.
Wow, sorry, man.
He
would have such good chemistry with everyone.
So, but anyways, you go, Frank. You tell us all the exposition that you hated in this episode.
No. Like, actually, you already touched on it for the most part. Like Darcy being super hacker. Like that's one of the things that always bothers me about like
bugged me so
MCU.
much.
That bothers me about the CW, because like that's some CW bullcrap that they just try to pull on us. Like when you can hack a crane, or you can hack the sprinkler systems or something like that. All of a sudden,
I would have been fine if it was a crane or a sprinkler system. She's hacking into Sword.
Yeah,
a military installation.
Yeah, and then she uses like Agent Wu's screen name. Well, that's kind of a party foul right there. Like you're implicating Agent Wu.
No, she was emailing him the information.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I wouldn't email.
I'm not a hacker.
She was sending him an email of the stuff that she found.
I'm not an astrophysicist, so I can't hack or know computers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was one of the things that used to bug me about early Marvel, like how Peter Parker's like a bioengineer. And all of a sudden, like, he can do like a little bit of everything, which is kind of fine that he dabbles in everything. But like they make him out to be like, the Reed Richards or something like that. And he's not on that level, but he is pretty smart.
Well, Peter Parker actually is supposed to be on that level. He is one of the geniuses of the Marvel universe.
He's not even top 5 anymore. Like
not anymore, but
maybe in the 60s he was.
He was in the top 10, though I do understand it, because they have now a lot of, like we saw Moon Girl, they have a lot of new ones that they have brought in, but
and every so often Hank Pym or Bruce
Yeah.
Banner or both reassert themselves as,
Mhm.
scientist supreme or some shit, and then all of a sudden they're the smartest
But even
ones in
still,
the
like,
universe.
I wouldn't expect
I'm-
MCU.
I'm
Hank
holding
Pym
back
to-
from this argument because otherwise that's going to get us completely off track. But kind of also,
my point is Darcy has one field, and then she obviously is a computer hacker. So I'm hoping for your Matrix within a Matrix theory to come true, Dennis.
And she's very knowledgeable about all things Avengers, and she knows and she knows sitcoms better than like anybody else too, and like all the things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll believe those. I mean, she has the Thor connection. Sure, maybe Thor told her stuff about the Avengers. I'll believe that.
You think they hang out and he talks to her about battles?
He probably sends Jane emails, right?
But if there was anything Thor would talk about, it would be battles.
I honestly don't think that, and that's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt to answer that question, because they're pretty good about at least if not within the moment, retroactively answering your question. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think it's going to be a retroactive. I think by episode 9, it's all going to make sense.
Wait, side note, is Thor the reason why Jane gets cancer, or no?
I don't know.
Like space stuff?
I don't remember. Did you mean in the comics? In the comics?
Yeah, in the comics. Yeah, in the comics.
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, one of the
maybe he won't email her then.
One of the issues I had was sword agents are like stormtroopers. Like they just fall down. They just get beat up. They don't pay attention, which again falls into maybe your, the show within the show aspect that they have to be that incompetent.
Like they just both knew to start punching, and then you can literally see people walking around in the background, and they don't even care that 3 sword agents just go down. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
I've watched that. I've watched that scene a few times now, and like, one thing that I was telling my wife that I really liked about Mom, just in general, is that she takes a minute to absorb what's going on, like in the situation. Like Darcy will tell.
You're cutting out, Frank. You're cutting out. We're losing you, Frank. Well, good thing we got backup, Frank. Finish his thought, Clarke. What was he gonna say?
All right. Well, like my wife, she takes a chance to like really look at stuff and to see that.
I'm back. Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay. So someone will tell Darcy will say a quip or something, and then Monica will as a good actress will absorb it and then like kind of react to it, and that's really cool that she does that. So like she's really quick on the uptake. You want Monica. Like when you're lying to your mom about where you've been for 3 hours past curfew, you want Monica on your side because she'll like back up your story. She'll corroborate on the fly.
Monica's definitely demonstrating herself to be a likable, fun character that we'll enjoy following in Captain Marvel and other stories down the road. Yeah, I like her. She's fun. But I do think that she's still slightly a puppet. I would like to point something out though, and again, I think they're gonna make sure to nip this one. But they basically told her after going in the field and then coming out of the field, you can't do it anymore because it's already rewritten your biology so much. Okay, just to be clear, everybody else has only done it one less time than her.
In theory, everyone else. They started in there, so maybe they haven't even done it.
I mean, they had to be exposed to it because I'm assuming it just kind of like it exists in there. You know what I mean?
They said as much in the first expository.
There's radiation in there and stuff. Like low levels. It's not harmful, but I mean, unless you mean by harmful rewriting your biology.
Rewriting your DNA. Yeah.
We'll see what happens to that one agent that crawled through the tunnel.
I'm saying, is that guy going to crawl back out, or is he? Because now,
Wanda just disappeared.
Well, maybe he never crawled in because she.
Or is he a villain later on? Is he the living laser?
Oh my God!
Is that what he is? Like,
please let him be.
Yeah. So, just that's a plot hole. We'll leave on the side and see. Like, okay, if it's any more than one, you become Photon. But for right now, we're okay.
Unless she has to go back.
Or maybe
You
she
know
goes
she's
in.
going to go back in.
Maybe she goes in 3 more times. Yeah.
I think
So
we
who do
saw
you
as
think her
much.
man is?
I think
He's my man's going to be up on the hill. Who do you think is going to be?
my
Rhodey?
guy. She said my guy.
Yep.
I
She didn't
think
say my man.
I think
It'll be Norm.
if we want to get into that right now, I think it is a really good chance after what happened last week. I think it's a really good chance we're going to see a normal Reed Richards, like a non-powered Reed Richards,
like a John Krasinski.
Like just a regular guy that's named Reed Richards that happens to be an aerospace engineer.
What if we get a Johnny Storm, but Chris Evans?
You clearly don't know the character Johnny Storm because he's kind of an idiot.
You could flip the script.
And I'm surprised that wasn't in your list of news, by the way, because I've read rumors that Chris Evans and Jessica Alba have already been approached to be in the Doctor Strange movie as Human Torch, Human Torch and Invisible Woman.
We do not comment on rumors of speculation.
I thought that's exactly what
that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one. I've heard everyone else but them.
What if it's Lucas Lee up on the hill with the skateboard
and a stunt team?
But no, I think they would be in a really cool position if they could surprise. I mean, not surprise us if it happens, but if they set up a Reed Richards to just be. What if Reed Richards was like the next Dr. Exposition for like the next 3 or 4 Marvel movies?
And they've announced Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I mean, it's not weird for characters years away. To show up.
Yes.
But that's not weird for Marvel to bring characters years away from their debut, you know?
I just don't think they're ready with the casting on it.
Well,
we knew about Captain Marvel literally 2 years before that movie even came out.
Yeah, but she didn't come up in any movie where she wasn't Captain Marvel.
But
that's what we're saying is like, what if Reed Richards hangs out for the next 4 years in Marvel movies just as a scientific expert on things, and then he finally gets to go and do his thing? That would blow people's minds, right? That's the way to introduce that character.
Black Panther really cool. Too. Black Panther got announced, and then
you're missing. You're not getting it. What we're saying is it's not about being announced in Hollywood. We're saying, if they show up as a regular person for 5 movies before becoming a superhero, that has not been done in the MCU.
Like think Cassie Lang, like she's shown up as a kid.
But even then they recast her, the poor girl.
But what I'm saying is like,
Martin Freeman's character in Civil War.
But that's what I'm saying. But technically they haven't done that yet, right? Like they haven't done it yet, Frank.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give a little. I'm trying to help Ricky along with what you're trying to say, because he's trying to say like Black Panther was brought up in Civil War or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
but he was Black Panther in Civil War. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get him away from that line of thinking and go into like if like T'Challa.
The premise of established characters, you know,
the Cassie Lane is, I think, the best.
Hella early.
Yeah. We have not seen that in the MCU. Like the best we've seen is Rhodey. And it happens to him in the next movie, right? Like, like that
next time.
Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. I mean, that would be really cool if it is Reed Richards, because I think what people need more than anything for the Fantastic Four to work is to actually have a familiarity and something to care about those characters before they get to that point. You know,
they need a lot of damage control on Fantastic Four because they got a lot of bad will with us.
Yeah, exactly. So if we can, like, I'm not putting everything on this bet, but I'm saying, God, how awesome would that be if it was?
It would be a good seed to
give it a
plant,
6 out of 10.
The brightest mind in the Marvel universe, one of the brightest minds. It would be a nice starting point to that character for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind like a Victor Van Doom.
I'd be fine with Doom.
That's an excellent other one. But I just feel like, what's the likelihood of Monica being friends with Victor Von Doom over Reed Richards?
We'll make him like a likable guy, and then his downfall is kind of like a tragic.
That's true too. What if we get to see Doom's downfall over 4 movies or something like that?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, either one of them.
The only argument against Doom, I would say, is you would want to see his. Obviously, he wouldn't be in power at this point. You would want to see his rise to Doom.
Yeah.
I think you need a younger doomed to do that. That makes sense.
Exactly, and so it'd be age appropriate with Monica Rambeau, right? Or unless you're trying to go younger, like Tommy and Billy.
No, that's
Like
too young.
College Doom.
Yeah.
Doom, the college years.
Well, I have other questions regarding this episode since we opened that Pandora's box. I want to know what you guys think about, like, in this episode they did something very different than they have the previous ones, right? Like Agnes was actually set up to be a cast member of their Falcon in the Middle show, which was really cute, right? So Agnes has been embedding herself more and more into that family, right? But unlike all the previous episodes where we started to get hints that like Agnes is definitely trying to be pushy and get in on this, and then like what last week we found out that Agnes is kind of in on it, right? She actually knows kind of that this is a show, and and we've seen slight evidence of Herb knowing that too, right? But why is it in this episode particularly Herb and Pietro are the two characters that appear to be in on it, but Agnes is all the way out in the outskirts of town and she doesn't appear to know what's going on? What do you think that is? What do you think that is?
I get the impression she was trying to slip away, like she was trying to sneak out.
For sure.
She got too far into the low bandwidth zone and then started losing her Wi-Fi reception and just sat there stagnant.
Or
I thought you were going somewhere else with that, but I think she was just playing the part.
Or
that,
like a hella deep fake.
Yeah, like she's pretending.
Or she was trying to lure Vision to go out there.
Oh.
Well,
okay, so it was like a calculated move, like Death Note, like how Kira gets caught all the time to avoid suspicion, and also to bait out his. Sure, okay, I can accept that.
They make it look like she was trying to escape, but everything we've seen in the show is her been trying to like push herself in closer to that family to get closer to those kids. So what if, for the kids' safety, she needs Vision to go out there? You know what I mean? Like, what if Agnes is somehow manipulating this? I don't want to say for bad, but like there is precedent, right? Agatha Harkness, if it is Agatha, I can't help but think that witch's costume is really on the nose, and like it'd be at this point it'd be surprising if it's not Agatha Harkness, but she has been both villain and friend to them in the past.
I took it a different way.
That witch house though, like in the
the three witches.
It's got three witches. It's got witch hats, and it's got a big ass black cat, which is a power that her cat Ebony had to grow.
Yeah.
To like Panther size. So.
I took Agnes's thing as a bit different though, because she name drops Wanda as the one who's doing everything wrong, versus last episode where the coworker's slipping me. Or
you're talking about Norm?
Norm specifically says she, but Agnes says Wanda. So the way I take it is, whoever Agnes is, she needs to take out Wanda to gain full control or do whatever her plan is. But she's kind of pinning Vision to team up on her side. Like, hey, you gotta take Wanda out, man.
I mean, everything that she's done to like break the fourth wall or whatever you want to do. There's an argument to be made that Agnes is manipulating Vision to be more aware of what's going on, right? So if the first step last week was, do you want me to run it from the top? And she said that right in front of Vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, further than that, the Brady Bunch episode when she's having a sneaky conversation with Herb. She's all, oh, hey, we're not talking about anything.
Is Geraldine in there? Because she's, right. Every single weird moment that Agnes has been with Vision.
Makes sense.
So I can't help but wonder, like, why would she suddenly try to escape? It just seems kind of out of character for her, right?
But that's some really good acting on the.
Catherine Hahn is amazing.
Not the Catherine
about the meta.
I'm talking about the meta acting. I'm talking about Agatha. Agnes, because if Agnes was acting that whole time in the car when Vision had to touch her, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Catherine Hahn is an amazing actress, and yes, she is great with the whole thing. But that's
that laugh at the end, just like the cherry on top. Like
he's all shut the hell up.
It felt more to me exactly like the Wi-Fi was bad, as you were saying, just because, like everybody else, she's on the edge of the Wanda consciousness, and so it still goes into the thing that maybe even though she has been manipulating this, is this a subconscious subroutine of Wanda's brain that's trying to get Vision to realize this? There's so many complexities that it could be. It's exciting. That's why I like that. Like it's fun to speculate, but I'm just like, I trust him. Let's see where this goes.
Since we're on the scene, let me just briefly say, like, when she's all like, "You're an Avenger," and then Vision's all like, "What's an Avenger, lol?" Like that shit cracked me up, man.
That was actually one of my other questions. Is like, why does this simulation erase all knowledge of Avengers? Like nobody, like. There's no Avengers costumes in the whole Halloween. There's none. They don't exist. And you would think those would be the best Halloween costumes in that world, right?
But that goes to your point about how they were so plain because they all come from Wanda.
Yeah. That was what Ricky was saying.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, did Wanda or did somebody else make it so that nobody remembers the Avengers?
Well,
I think it was Sword.
Both of the 80s miniseries, they just want a normal life, and so it's like
Sword was
that
clearly messing with Vision.
Yeah, but it goes to my question about why Hayward hates supers so much. Because
that was one of my likes. I really like that.
That was a really good thing.
I mean, there's the aspect, they failed us, but it seems like there's more to that, because he was just like, not only are supers not worth looking up to, but we have to actively be against them. And that's a pretty amazing idea from the director of Sword.
You guys like that scene? I kind of thought I lumped that scene into all my other exposition scenes because I thought it was too convenient for him to ask between Darcy and Monica, "Hey, which one of you is the sassy best friend?"
Yeah,
because that's a TV trope.
Yep.
That's one of the things that I cite as my Matrix within the Matrix feel that I got from the show.
Yeah,
I just like that dialogue of, he got to see a world where the supers failed, on a epic scale.
Yeah, I agree.
Versus Monica got to see the world where they won, and there's that half of people that, know one side and the half that knows the other. And it's something I never really thought of, but it's an interesting point for sure. Like,
he's definitely, he's depicted as as an antagonist that you can relate to, right?
But he's an antagonist, but not a villain.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm okay with that, But
unless that file she opens is Ultron, it's all like Ultron, and then Spader comes out and he's all, "I got no strings."
But if at the end of this he wants to become Paladin and go grab Living Laser and they go team up with Zemo, I'm cool with that too. Like,
please put a Living Laser in. If you're watching this, Marvel, put the Living Laser in there.
Living Laser would be Franklin for sure.
He is the worst. I love him.
Love it. What do you guys have any other questions? Like any fun ones that we can speculate on right now?
Well, I had a few. Like, how does Pietro know Vision's dead?
Well, on that topic, how does Vision not remember Pietro?
That's
he got hard rebooted, so he doesn't know anything. Really.
But he was like, he was literally, he met Pietro. I'm just saying, like, he, barely, but because it's like, you talk about your brother, but I didn't expect him to be really. Okay.
He doesn't reference anything like pre WandaVision though, right?
No, he mentioned that in the argument. Like, I don't remember before being here. When he was getting mad at so
he got hard rebooted. Like they put the paperclip in his ear, and then or the binky in his ear.
They got that little poker in the poker hole. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, that is a fair question. I mean, like, again, that goes back to the why. What about Herb and Pietro? Why are they so in on it this week? And by Herb, I mean when he's like, when Wanda's asking him about Vision because she thinks he's on Neighborhood Watch, and he's like, "Is there something wrong, Wanda? Do you need something to change?"
Yeah,
and
dead
really
townies.
ominous. Yeah, like It's not dead townies.
It's my dead townies theory that everyone's dead and she rezzed him. That's why
I
he was
think-
Frankenstein's monster, right?
I think
Is a
only-
dead character that was rezzed. That's
I
because
think that
everyone's on the nose. We got to accept. So all their costumes were comic book accurate, right? And if Agatha Harkness is a witch, and Herb is Frankenstein's monster, he's dead and was resurrected. Dead
I'll allow
townies.
it. I'll allow it.
Case closed.
That's fair.
Not case closed.
I solved it. I solved it.
I'll allow the theory to exist for now.
And I am Mephisto.
And Reed Richards is going to come and fix it all next week.
Yes.
And then Living Laser's going to get away, though. Okay,
Hell
he's
yes.
not. He's for later. He's for later.
Marvel, please.
It is a good question, Ricky, and I think it just feeds into that bigger one, which is like he clearly knows more than he should, right? He knows more information, but at the same time, he also mentioned like, yeah, it was weird. I got shot for like no good reason, and then I just ended
Shot
up
in the middle
here.
of the street.
Yeah, shot in the middle of the street for
yeah.
no good reason. And I'm like, bro, you got shot saving Hawkeye and a kid. So you
Yeah.
clearly don't remember that either. So
That wasn't a good reason.
nobody shut up.
That wasn't a good
Nobody-
reason. He's all
Nobody
he's all like
remembers
this.
the Avengers. Nobody does.
Maybe he was thinking in Avengers Age of Ultron, as we were all thinking, that Hawkeye was set up to die in that. So that's why he's saying no good reason, because
Yeah,
Hawkeye was the one that should have
Yeah.
done it.
Like the only time the Avengers was referenced outside of the thing breaking is when Monica started getting her memories back, in like the third episode. But Monica was already breaking the hold on herself in that moment.
Mhm.
So, it's everybody normally has common knowledge of Avengers, but in Westview they lose it. And it's weird.
I like you bringing up the Herb thing, because that gives me very Twilight Zone vibes again, like the Billy Mummy episode where he sends everyone to the cornfield if they don't think happy thoughts. Like, I like that, and that's cool.
Yeah. What, you got any more, Clark? Or Ricky?
Well, so Billy in this episode is able to detect like Vision's well-being, and that's why he alerts Wanda. But like, how is that? What is that power set? Because Vision's not a person; it's a
Okay, that's
It's a-
rude. That's
it's a
rude.
robot.
You can replace two. You can be replaced too.
But also, Vision is like seen breathing in this episode. Like you see the condensation come out of his
Vision
mouth.
has
Like,
organs.
He's a
Vision-
synthezoid.
But-
He's not a
He has
robot, though.
all, he has
Can
all
he-
organs. He has
does
all
he
organs.
breathe? Like,
Yeah.
He can. He doesn't need to.
His organs are
Yeah.
synthetic.
but why? Why is he choosing the? I don't know.
Okay,
Well, that's his goal. He
off
wants to
topic.
be as human as possible.
that's off topic, but that was Ultron's purpose, right? Is he wanted to replace humans with a synthezoid human.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
Ultron's
I mean,
back.
I'll say I liked how when Vision did the face change out of his costume and into his actual look, he kept his wedding ring on, and I thought that was a little nice little touch that he chose to keep his his wedding band on, even though he's obviously feuding with his wife right now.
Yeah, well, he still loves her more than anything.
You got to keep your ring on, even if you're feuding,
Yeah,
especially when you're feuding. To be honest.
I haven't worn mine all quarantine.
Oh.
By the way, do you guys think that the red eyes that we saw in Wanda did it remind any of you of Ultron's red eyes?
Not till you mentioned it.
Not really. I just
And who would be good at simulations?
There you go. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that'd be cool.
It's true.
I was also thinking along the same lines, like, what if the file that Darcy is trying to open, maybe it's not meant to keep something. Maybe
That was called catalyst.
Cataract.
Yeah,
Cataract.
exactly.
Sorry, cataract.
Cataract.
So another
something
eye.
that ruins vision.
It is.
Well,
Well, it is.
in Avengers Disassembled, like Vision broke up into a bunch of different Ultrons, right? Like, so
Mhm.
maybe they're building that or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know at this point. Everyone's Mephisto.
Everyone's Mephisto.
Everyone's
But one thing I did like was that she can't just bring people back to life. So I feel like they have rules set in place, even though we don't know what they are. So if she's trying to bring Aaron Taylor Johnson back, and she gets Evan Peters by mistake, like I thought that was cool that they kind of put like a little bit of a rule to it. I appreciate when they put rules in the Marvel universe, because they usually have carte blanche to do whatever they want whenever they want, and it was cool.
Clark or Frank, did you have any more questions? Any more fun
So
ones?
my question was, are we really only going to get 3 more episodes of the amazing Paul Bettany as Vision? Because I just love him even more every single episode. And as I said, I've been a fan since 2001, and he is just phenomenal in this series.
Oh, he's got to go, right? Then he can come back 2 movies later as a White Vision.
Wow.
That's a costume, not a
Yeah, sure it is.
Yes.
Is that our cue to end the show, guys? That got
So just
got
a couple
weird.
more observations. One, the circus people are going to have some badass Kevlar oversized pants.
Did we lose Frank again?
I think we lost Frank
I
for a
think so.
second.
I like Ricky. Ricky said this before the show, but a really great meta would be if Darcy came back as a waitress in her Two Broke Girls costume. That would make me laugh.
That would be great.
I can't help but think that it would be really cool if Hawkeye showed up and was in the circus section, just because his origins are from the circus.
Yeah.
So when I saw the circus, I was like, let's get Hawkeye in here now. I still feel it's wrong to not have Hawkeye in the story, just because of the relationship that he's formed with Wanda in the movies. It just feels like, why doesn't somebody call Hawkeye to see if they can help? He can help, so.
So one quick prediction I want to make too is that Vision has displayed powers that he hasn't had before, like super speed.
like pulling somebody's food out of their trachea,
like pulling someone's food out of their trachea. So I was thinking to myself that maybe, I think I brought it up before, but I'm going to make an official prediction. That way you can laugh at me if I end up being wrong during the week between WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My prediction is that they're Wonder Woman 1984ing Vision onto Simon Williams. That's my official prediction.
I think we kind of already hoped that somehow that I think we said that before, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
right?
No, yeah. And I'm saying it now. That way, I can especially be the butt of everyone's joke. Like I'm not even sure if I was the one that made that prediction, but if not, you guys can laugh at me.
You guys still think Wonder Man's gonna be in this show? Because I'm feeling like it's getting tight.
We got 3 episodes.
If anyone can do it, MCU can do it, because they will shorthand or they will explain to you ad nauseum what they're doing.
I mean, maybe Wonder Man's the villain of this whole show.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Wonder Man is Mephisto.
I think if there's no more, we should probably just really quick just check in the bingo.
Do we get any squares?
Dude, Ricky loaded up for us. Can you do the thing?
I can do the thing.
I don't feel like a whole lot went on this episode. That's not something I wanted to rant about, but like I feel like we're gonna get diminishing returns the further on we get.
It was a setup episode, but I was fine with that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a lateral. Nothing got progressed in that hugely. It was just more world building, I guess.
I think a lot happened, but
the kids got back.
Ricky, I swear you're going to learn your job at one point.
Oh my God.
I did that for him because
this is week 2 of the videos. I gotta.
That's our cue that it's time to check in on Multiverse Bingo. And I gotta say, like, I agree with Frank. Like, nothing new popped out in this episode, right? Like nothing. Like we got lots of stellar performances. We got to like understand more of the weird that's going on. We got a super weird commercial. We thought maybe that
almost mutant.
We thought Mutant might get in there. We thought Natalia might get mentioned as their mom. Didn't happen. None of it happened. Not even a mention of Jarvis. Not even a mention of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just nothing. So our bingo cards look about the same as they did last week, which is just, we got a Billy and Tommy. We got Pietro. We got Monica. We got Sword. And,
that reminds, seeing House of M, that reminds me, someone was speculating because they couldn't see Evan Peters' tattoo on his arm that says mom. They were speculating that it said HOM.
Oh my God, I saw that.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
What a reach.
Yeah. I saw somebody speculate like all these different people that were going to be Monica's friend. and
yeah.
it was all these females, and like I'm like, but she said my guy.
Well, that
She's-
was because last week the translation.
no,
Yeah,
no, I saw new ones today, like
Oh,
today, like that were like going off on like it's Riri or it's it's all these different characters, but they were all these females that they're like it could be Sue Storm, and I'm like, I don't know, that'd be really weird if Monica referred to Sue Storm as my guy. I mean, I know guy can be used generically, but
like
I
my
just kinda-
dudes.
yeah, yeah, but I think they want us to know it's going to be a male, and whatever. But yeah, bingo was a bust this week. Nobody won, but I don't think anybody should win this soon, right? It's a little too early. So
no, we got 3 more
Ricky's winning
shows.
ish.
Mhm.
yeah. So I don't have anything else. I mean, if you guys have any more fun observations you want to get in there before we get out of here, or if anybody in the audience has any more questions that they saw, in this episode.
I am a little bummed about the Soulstone commercial. I was hoping it would be like something purple or something orange. You can make the argument. I think Clarke was willing to back me up on the Soulstone being there.
It's
basically,
the first commercial where someone died.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's fair.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe
That's
the
not a bad
shark. The shark is like the Red Skull. Like that's the stand-in, right? Yeah,
He's
because
just
Red
so
Skull eats his
hungry.
yogurt. Yeah,
So hungry.
You have
though,
to
yeah.
get through the yogurt.
I
Well, it
just
made
think-
me not want yogurt.
I didn't even understand what I was watching. Like, what
No.
made the lid so hard to open? I didn't.
No,
I
he
didn't
was
get
Because he had no
right?
energy.
Yeah,
was
he
so
no energy
weak.
to.
he was
He
so
couldn't-
tired.
He was so tired and weak he couldn't. Well, that's what I got. That
Okay.
or those things sometimes can be really hard to open. It's always amazing.
Yeah, or you'll pull off the tab. That shit pisses me
Yeah.
off. I'll pull off the tab and I'm like trying to get in there.
Life
All
and
right,
death, man. Life
Yeah.
and death.
I was stalling for questions, but
Yeah.
I don't think there are
Yeah.
any.
I think we
No.
gave
I
them.
think we're good.
gave them time.
Where do you
Give them
guys
time.
think it's going next week?
I thought we did that already. Did we
Yeah.
not? What
I
else?
didn't.
What more predictions you got? What do you got? I said I think it's Reed. I think Reed's showing
Well,
up.
not
next
not
week.
with that specific character, but like that's the episode, the one where Reed shows up.
I think he's coming based on like she said he's going to be here in an hour. Like, I think it's safe to assume he's going to show up soon.
I like to imagine that he saw the hex get bigger and he like turned the fuck around. He's like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deuces.
And then I also mentioned, I said if this is a power that manipulating Wanda that's not Agnes, like if it's Agnes, if it ends up being Agnes that's doing this, I'm fine with them drawing that out all the way till episode 9. I'm fine with it because Agnes is already an established character. She's been there the whole time. She's highly sus, right?
Yeah, and she's been manipulative.
Yeah, but if it's not Agnes, they need to reveal it next week.
Yes,
'Cause
I'm
that's-
with you.
I agree.
if it's Ralph, I'll accept Ralph also.
But
And
they
Ralph's
need to reveal.
Mephisto.
They need to reveal Ralph next week.
we're in the
like
final
Ralph
act, so I would
Disco.
expect
Yes.
the big bad to be officially name dropped or
Unless it's Agnes. If it's already Agnes, it's fine. We can draw it out more. You know what I mean? We can do that. It's cool. Like, but if it's not Agnes, you guys gotta get on it fast. Okay. Well, I think.
Thank
before
you
we
guys
do-
for having me today.
Yeah, well, we were gonna thank you, man.
Yeah, we're gonna thank
Yeah.
you. How dare you thank us first?
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank us
Wah.
for playing our little Frank gag. Thank you for giving me an excuse to show off my stilt man.
Yes.
It's so cool. Yeah,
Right.
why don't you guys, Clarke, if you have something you wanna let people know where they can find you, or if you have something anything you want to share, feel free to.
I
do
got
it right
stuff
now.
in the works, so hopefully I'll have more stuff later. But if you want to listen to my SoundCloud, I do have a SoundCloud channel called Crane Waves, where I recite poetry, put it to music, do spoken word, stuff like that. So that's on SoundCloud at Crane Waves.
Cool. And then anybody else got anything to share where people can find you?
Nope. Find me on PSN playing Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
Nice.
That's it.
Ricky?
Ricky the Nerd on Instagram. That's about it.
And you can find me, Denix Media, on most platforms. mostly YouTube and Instagram, but you can also find me on. We're streaming this right now on Twitch and Facebook Live, and I share information on Twitter as well. So follow me, and if you had fun and if you like seeing this stuff and you like talking with us about Marvel stuff, please feel free to like and subscribe. And with that, I think thanks for watching Den Excelsior, and see you next time, true believers. Enough
See
said.
you
We have
guys.
spoken.
Thanks.